Good morning, friends. This morning elaboration is for all language lovers, and we are going to discuss one important factor. Yeah, the topic of discussion is the problem faced by our school system these days and the way for effective teaching. In the recent past, there has been a thought given to the several problems that the system of school education is facing these days, starting from the problem of the learners and the way of effective teaching. A, a tool called learning style inventory was used to address this problem. The first thing that was done to find out in this way to know how information of skills are learned. The educationist and the philosophers of learning just went on finding ways how to address this problem. So one of the issues that was taken into consideration was how skills are learned, which factor makes an individual comfortable with learning and learning skills or acquiring declarative knowledge. Different answers emerged. In dealing with such factual knowledge, some people like to experience first. There are some learners who first try to experience knowledge, then the others observe and then gather information through observation, then the third want to experiment, and still there are the fourth who prefer to plunge into learning, leaving analysis for latter. Now, then became easy to discover which of the attributes made for better learning for an individual. These educationists and the thinkers went on finding ways and making an observation which attributes made for better learning for an individual. The learning situation will benefit by understanding these differences. Two major process, there are two major processes of learning. The first one is gathering information, process of gathering information, and the second one is the process of transforming information. There are two types of learners basically in schools and colleges. The first type of learner believes in you know gathering information. So that is the method is known as process of gathering information. The second type of learner believes in transforming information. Transforming information. To the continuation of information gathering is bound by those people who gather information through experience at one end, and then who gather information either by reading or listening on the other hand. The second type of learner, that means those who believe in transforming information, the continuation of this transformation of information is bound by those people who internalize through watching and observing on one hand, and by those who learn by applying their knowledge in perpetuating knowledge. The third type of people believe, or they fall in between these two. All these has knowledge, information, and skill. Knowledge and doing something with all the others fall somewhere in between. All this has a bearing at school because children too have similar learning styles on these two axes. To describe the learning styles, it is in more detail, it has to be understood that the different learning styles are as per each other. There are four types of learner. See, in every school and college scenario, there are four types of learner. The first type of learner are those children who observe facts through experience. The very first type of learner observe facts through their experience. The second one, this is the first type of learner observe facts through experience, and they readily share the information with others. They are always ready to share the information with others. The second type of learner will take unrelated facts and try to seek order in them and then they try to use their knowledge in independent judgment of facts. They will prefer to be exact in their approach, and acquiring knowledge is just systematic for them. The third type of learner is a pragmatist. A pragmatist is one who always applies his abilities for problem solving. The third type of learner is a pragmatist who applies his knowledge for and problem solving. And the fourth type of learner is the one who believes in, you know, who believes in such type of learner believes in world of action. The fourth type of learners believes in world of action, and these learners always bring down to the level of concrete observation and doing. So these four types of learner can be found in a school scenario also. The first type of learner is one who learn through their experience. The second type of learners are those who take unrelated facts and try to seek order in them, and they apply their ability and knowledge in concretizing their knowledge. Then the third type of learner is a pragmatist who believes in applying his knowledge and skill in problem solving. And the fourth type of learner is those learners who believe in world of actions, and for them everything is to be brought down to the level of concrete observation and doing. So with some of these awareness of these facts, the different ways teachers may find effective way of teaching. It is not easy to teach all the children with the same knowledge and awareness. So it is important that the teachers should try to identify all these four types of learner in a classroom scenario. There may be two or three types of learner. There may be all the four types of learner in a classroom scenario. That is the reason why the teachers find it challenging to teach all the students in the similar way. We always believe that all the children have the same level of learning. We do not actually understand that a majority of the children in the class have low level of learning, and they are not meant for only gathering information, but rather they believe in transforming information. Therefore, in the process of learning, it is not only important to gather information, it is equally important to transfer information and then to perpetuate the information in the in the way of in the everyday way of life. The third type of learner, the pragmatist, do not believe they do not believe in all this only gathering information and only applying or transferring information. They believe totally in problem solving. If your knowledge of day to day life cannot help you to solve the problems of your day to day life, then your education is useless. So a pragmatist believes that gathering information, transforming information, and perpetuating knowledge will be useful only when a child is able to apply this knowledge to problem solving. Whereas the fourth type of learner believes that all these are useful only when there is a keen observation and experience in doing and performing the actions. The fourth type of learners do not believe in simply gathering information and transforming information. They believe in performing action with the help of those knowledge acquired at schooling. So in a school scenario, for an effective teaching, it is very important to identify all these four types of learner and then only to devise a method. A methodology must be devised to divide the entire classroom into four groups, so that each group should be benefited by your instruction, and your instruction must not only contain the content learning, rather it should also provide the material for transforming information, for problem solving, and for keen observation and experiment. because ultimately a child can perpetuate his knowledge only when he is able to make his observation and learning into action, and when his learning is used to action oriented, learning, definitely the knowledge can be perpetuated. So in nutshell we can say that simply teaching in the classroom, thinking that all the children have the same level of learning, will be simply a wastage of time. So a teacher, an intelligent teacher, must understand that the classroom is a heterogeneous group where the children of different learning level exist. Therefore it is important to identify different groups of learners. As I said, the learners who believe in absorbing information or gathering information, and the learners who believe in transforming information, and the learners who believe in using knowledge and skill for solving problem, and the learners who make an observation and in knowledge for experimenting and making the things into action. So all these four types of learners exist in the same heterogeneous class, and that is why it becomes a challenge for a good teacher to create an effective learning situation. That is what I wanted to share. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.